Queen. What's up with that?
You think you're not calling him?
Really? I'm gonna check my. Is everybody good?
Everybody here just move back a bit, please. Get the bus and the truck on the police station.
So, folks, we're coming to you live from downtown St. George. Well, what we see happening now is that the cordon area is being moved, and we've been asked to step back a bit. We see now what's here on the side. That's Lower Lucas Street. And in case of those of you who actually know Lower Lucas Street, it is just about the old traffic calling point. Um, um, we see the appearance of two of the fire trucks that's here. It's happening just about Lower Lucas Street. But that building, we're yet to confirm for you the building that it is. But I'm not sure for those of you who know Lucas Street, years ago there was an old stamp shop that's there. It is right next to that building that's next to the church Praise of Sanctuary. And it's close to where the old Sunnyside School was years ago. I guess we see the police officers, they're here, members of the Royal Grenadier Police Force, they're all here trying to make sure to keep things under control. From where we are, our vantage points, we can see there's still smoke that's coming from the top of the building. As to what may have caused the fire, the source of it, that is yet to be told. But what we can tell you is that from all indications, as you can see, the fire seems to be well in control. The fire department seem to, of course, done a pretty good job at controlling it. This is one of the trucks that came out from the Maurice Bishop International Airport to offer some assistance. We're just getting some background, some feedback on it. But of course, there was support that came from the Maurice Bishop International Airport. There's a strong presence of the police cordoning off the area just to ensure that everybody stays safe. But the village is just about the lower point of Lucas Street, as that's close enough to the old police calling point. That building that is on the opposite side of the road. We're yet to confirm exactly what, of course, or who is occupied there. Some people are saying it is an old abandoned building. That we are going to confirm for you in just a bit. But as you can see, there's not much of a blaze or anything of the sort. The only thing, of course, is that the police, they have asked, of course, on locals they step back the barricade. Fire officials, they're on the scene. You get in a sense from what's happening that they seem to have gotten the fire under control. One of the support vehicles that came from the airport, we can see that they're here. I'm not sure exactly what is the plan, but that vehicle is actually still here. So there's two of the fire tenders that is on scene, and we see that Rescue 3 unit from the Maurice Bishop International Airport has made its way up to offer additional support to the firefighting operations. One building, we see firefighters, they're still wetting the building, and of course, all in an attempt to, of course, first contain, and then additionally it would be for the purpose of salvaging whatever can at the end of the day. It's a massive truck, and of course, as you understand, it takes a bit of a while to maneuver itself around some of the narrow streets right here up on Lucas Street. In terms of the traffic, well, certainly you would expect that the area would be blocked off from ongoing traffic. So for those of you that's probably attempting to get into St. George, you would certainly have to consider alternative route, because downtown Lower Lucas Street is definitely blocked off. So you would have to consider all traffic. Maybe if you want coming down from St. Paul's, you may want to consider heading down Morass Hill, or maybe if you get down to Lucas Street, maybe down through Observatory Road or that point. So the cordon area has been re-established, and as I'm saying to you, we here Lower Lucas Street. We're trying to give you details, but what we can tell you that the member of the Royal Grenadier Police Force, and of course the firefighting service. They are here, and one is of course seemed to be containing a fire. We are yet to confirm exactly the nature of it, and certainly that would come as investigation continues into the morning, into the afternoon. A decent crowd, of course, as you would anticipate, they have gathered, and so certainly to lend their eyes and ears and songs to what is happening here. But what, in case you're just joining us, this is Lower Lucas Street, and the building in question is located directly opposite the old traffic calling point at Lower Lucas Street. That building is nestled between, currently, there is a Praise of Sanctuary Church, which seems to be untouched from where I'm at, and there's another building that's there is nestled between that and what was in fact the old Sunnyside building. For those of you who actually know you're acquainted with the Lucas Street area. As you can see, the police, they continue to wet the building. Of course, you're still seeing there's a moderate presence of smoke, and certainly that augurs well, because it's always a case of trying to contain the building, the ongoing fire, and to ensure that it doesn't spread to the other buildings. So we here, Lower Lucas Street, monitoring what is happening. It's a fire that has engulfed and is seemingly under control. What you see now is just a bit of a smoke that is coming from the building, mostly from the top of the building. I'm not quite sure what's happened to the bottom side of the building. Certainly, fire officials would continue they will do their investigations and give you a sense and an appreciation as to the nature of what's happening. Where I'm at, I'm just about 100 meters away, given the fact that the area has been cordoned off, and law enforcement, the members of the fire service unit, they're all attempting to put some control to a fire, which seems from all indications. Right, so we can see from the distance that there is additional support that has been brought in from the Maurice Bishop International Airport. We saw there's a presence of Rescue One that is just at the intersection of Scott Street, Lucas Street, that's there. And higher up, there's another one that is on its way down. So suddenly, has been an immediate response to this fire. All an attempt to control, because you would appreciate the buildings are quite really the buildings are nestled quite close to each other, and certainly if not under control, the idea is that of containing what, if left unattended, could be a major disaster in what is already difficult and trying times. As you said, we're yet to confirm exactly the building, the occupants of the building, if ever it was. Some are saying that it was an abandoned building, but what I can tell you, years ago, I know that downstairs there was a stamp shop that was located there, right? So again, this is classic 105.5, 105.9, and those of you that's in television, and what we are looking at is an ongoing fire at Lower Lucas Street. We can see there's a strong presence of members of the Royal Grenadier Police Force, persons, quite a gathering of persons trying to get an appreciation and a look of what's happening. And as we've come to expect in the days of what is a digital era, the phones are out, the sights and songs, that's what's happening. Rescue 3 from the Maurice Bishop International Airport is on scene. And as you can see higher up, there's another rescue vehicle that came to lend support to another of the fire tenders. So in fact, there's a total of 3 fire tenders that's here. Rescue 3 is making his departure. There's another one higher by the intersection, and that is just about by the Holiness Church, that is getting in gear to start lend their assistance to what is happening. So certainly it seems from all indications that things are under control. And we're certain that the members of the fire department, they would be conducting their own investigations so as to determine the cause of the fire. But certainly tragic as it is in every sense of the word. I mean, once you have these sort of fires, but I should be happy. We have not had any reports of any loss of lives or any damage to the other buildings. And certainly, if we can get a closer, we can get a bit closer, then we would be able to ascertain. But because what we're looking, just little puffs of smoke as rising from the top of the building. As you said, they have a strong presence of the Royal Grenada Police Forces here to offer some control and order, because very often, if not, these occasions, these incidents can certainly spiral out of control. Where I'm at, the area has been cordoned off. I am right next to the Cathedral House, and Mas'ool and Opticals for Life. That's where I am located, and so certainly. Things from all indications seem to be under control. You see the more laxed approach by members of the Royal Grenada Police Force. But certainly, while the fire has been contained, no doubt there will probably be the protocol, whatever protocols there is, would ensue that would allow for the investigation by the teams. And certainly, we here at the GBN will continue to keep you updated. Certainly, you can look forward for more details in our midday edition. And as you would expect, certainly, you'll get a comprehensive report that would come during our 7 p.m. newscast. Of course, besides this live coverage, you have the news crews here. Chrislina John is here, so certainly she will be giving you details as on it in our 7 o'clock nightly news. But we will continue here on the GBN to provide you updates as to what is a fire that has been contained. From all indication, the fire has been contained, and that is just at Lower Lucas Street. For those of you who knows St. George, just the fire was just at the opposite, the old traffic calling point. Yeah, so that's what's happening. As you can see, there's been support from the fire team as far as the airport. And what we're looking at there is fire rescue. Another of the fire rescue units that is just about 100 meters up, just about close to the Holiness Church. I'm assuming they're gauging whatever protocol that is in place. But you had two such of those units that came to lend support from the Maurice Bishop International Airport. And certainly you had a total of, presently there's 2. But there was a total of 3 of those fire tenders that was lending support to this fire at Lower Lucas Street. Yeah, so we'll continue to keep you in the know. As I said, continue to follow GBN on the midday edition, and certainly you will get a more comprehensive report in our nightly 7 o'clock news. From Lower Lucas Street, Joseph Cutter reporting for GBN News.